pages before. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I was just looking at everyone that's waiting on the sidelines. Woohoo! It's very exciting for me. Thank you so much. Hannah will be joining us in just a minute. She's just waiting for her computer to start up. It's a bit like me in the mornings, only old and slow.
Can you kill the spider on the dresser?
Can I kill the spider on the dresser? Where is it? I can't see it.
I'm walking.
I can't even see it.
Yeah, Kim. Come here, you'll see it.
Just got to kill the spider, folks.
It's nearly on the edge.
Really on the edge.
Ah, take him.
Oh, it's only a wee one.
Yeah, still kill it.
Where'd it go? There we go. It's gone. There you go. I was looking for a spider. Not a spider, a spider. I thought I'd be able to see a big one. Now everyone's just seeing my pajama pants. Now you know my secret. I'm half ready for bed. Thank you for that, sweet pea.
That'll teach you.
It will teach me, won't it? I was waiting. I'm thinking, I'm going to go straight to bed when this show is over. Oh, well, what the heck. At least they're clean. And they're not holy, are they? No.
No, they're the good ones.
They're the good ones. Thank goodness for that. Oh, my giddy aunt, the things that happen in this house and to me. I hope you've all had a lovely day and a lovely weekend. We had an interesting weekend. We were all sick. We all caught the dreaded lurgy again. So never mind, we seem to be over it now. Thank goodness. Oh, dear. So we've got so many people: Yvonne, Kath, Lynette, Maureen, Barb, Lorraine, Kathy, Lynette Hall, Suzanne, I can't see any really any glasses, Amy, Margarita. Oh, heaps of people today. Okay, we seem to be frozen. Are we not freezing?
No, you're not frozen on mine.
Oh, okay. That's all right then. I wasn't frozen on Hannah's, I'm frozen on mine. Not to worry. So, non-food stockpiles, folks, because we don't just need food to live. I mean, we need food to live, but we need other things too. And often the other things are expensive things like toiletries, cleaning supplies, garden supplies, basic household maintenance things, clothing. I'm sure if you've had little children, you've all sort of stockpiled after a fashion by keeping, you know, this year's stuff for the next child so that they can grow into it and so on. That's a form of stockpiling. Passing things down, sharing them around also is a form of stockpiling. But you've seen some of my grocery stockpile. That's only a tiny fraction of what we do actually stockpile in our home. And I'll start with the non-food kitchen pantry type things, because I guess most people wouldn't think that they are actually a part of stockpile, but they are. And I have things like foil, baking paper, greaseproof paper, paper bags, oven bags, freezer bags, the bags and rolls for the vacuum sealer. What else is there? Ziploc bags,
Green bags.
the fresh and crisp green bags, all those sorts of things, all are stockpiled. I keep enough of those for at least 12 months, and we were just joking, we may not need cling wrap or baking paper for about 30 years because we don't use a lot of it. We very rarely use cling wrap, and I usually get the really big rolls, and I've been buying them when they're on sale at Aldi when they have their special buys. That seems to be the cheapest way for me to get it. And baking paper I use and clean and reuse and clean and reuse until it crumbles. So baking paper lasts a long time too. Foil I don't use a lot of, but again, I clean it and reuse it. If it's not really ugly and really scrunched and horrible, it gets washed and dried and folded carefully and reused. There is no point in just throwing it away if it's perfectly good. That's money in the bin, what we don't want to do. So that forms part of the kitchen non-food stockpile. But then there's things like spare veggie peelers. And I was very grateful to have a couple of spare veggie peelers last week when my Old Faithful, the actual blade on it snapped. So I would have been left trying to peel potatoes and veggies with a knife, and I'm not very good with a knife. In fact, I'm dangerous with a knife. Veggie peeler is better for me. So I was able to go to the drawer and open a packet and get out a new one without panicking and without having to pay any extra for it. It was one that I picked up. I think they came from Aldi in a pack of 5 for about $1.99 or something. They were really cheap. It's brilliant. I should have got more. But I have 4 more there so that when that one wears out, I'll be able to replace it. Cake tins, baking trays, things like that sound odd to stockpile, and you don't need a huge amount of them, especially if you're not a baker. You don't need a huge amount of them. But there are times when you do need a different size, a different shape, or the one you have finally wears out. And I've been known to have cake tins that have been passed down to me that have been scrubbed thin so that they're actually not working properly because the metal's too thin. They've been scrubbed too hard. So cake tins, things like that, are all in my non-food pantry and kitchen stockpile. You could think of things like dinner set, a spare dinner set. Often it is cheaper to have a spare dinner set, a whole dinner set, than it is to buy the replacement plate or bowl as it breaks. So if you can get a spare dinner set on sale, you'll save yourself the frustration of having a chipped plate or an odd number or whatever, and you won't be paying full price for it. So it's another thing that you can do. Other things that I stockpile are cleaning supplies, and that's probably a no-brainer for most of you too. But once a year, I will buy enough laundry soap, borax, vinegar, eucalyptus oil, washing soda to last us for the year. And that covers just about all our cleaning products. It makes washing powder for the clothes, and it makes miracle spray for the other cleaning. And then I've got vinegar and the other ingredients left over to use as I need them for other things. I also stockpile dishwasher powder and dishwashing liquid. Now the dishwashing liquid, I'm not brand loyal. I'm not even store loyal with the dishwashing liquid. Sometimes it might be, if I can't get a brand name, it'll just be the Aldi Tandle Ultra. Otherwise, I like to see if I can get Morning Fresh on half price, the Morning Fresh concentrate on half price. Usually for around $1.89 seems to be my top price. Otherwise, I'll just stick with Aldi because I like the scent of the Morning Fresh. And I know that's probably not a really good reason to buy something, but sometimes they have the nicest fragrances. And if I've got to stand at a sink full of soapy water, it should smell nice, I figure, anyway. And it should smell nice on half price. So I buy 6 bottles of dishwashing detergent a year because I dilute them. I do tip half into another bottle, top them up with cool water, give them a very gentle swish so that they don't bubble up on me. And I'm good to go. And I only use 1 month, on average, 1 month. Because we have the dishwasher, so I'm not hand washing all the dishes all the time. Now I use that to clean the sinks. I put a squirt in the water for the floors. I might use it to scrub down the benches or the breadboards, whatever, but it works. And I know that I can go to the cupboard when it's empty and get the next bottle and it's there for me. And I know that come the end of the year, I will need to buy another 6. I will wait till they're on sale. Now, they usually start coming on sale around any time from now until Christmas. You'll see them come on sale at Woolworths and Coles. IGA, Foodworks tend to often have them on half price too. So keep an eye out for them and buy it. You shouldn't have to pay full price for it if you think ahead. And even if you don't have enough money to buy a whole heap of them, buy 6 like I do. Even if you need 1, buy two because it's on half price. So you need two for the price of one. So you've started a stockpile of dishwashing detergent or whatever it is. Now, dishwasher powder is a totally different thing. I use the Coles brand dishwasher powder. It's $2.19 it's gone up to for the kilo. Kilo lasts us between 5 and 6 weeks, depending on how often I run the dishwasher. It does a brilliant job on the dishes. 3 teaspoons. I use 3 teaspoons in the dishwasher when I run it. And yes, I have a teaspoon in the box with the dishwasher powder, and it is measured out. So I use about 10 of those a year. I usually buy 12, and it sort of builds up a bit because I also use dishwasher powder for soaking the oven racks and the baking trays when they start to look gurky and unky, and you know how baking spray, the cooking spray, can make them go yellow. So a good soak in dishwasher powder and hot water in the laundry sink, and they wipe clean. And that's a really good thing to know. Just wear rubber gloves because it can be quite hard on your hands if you do that. But it works really well. I also soak the trivets off the stove in hot water and dishwasher powder. Give them a clean, and then I don't have to scrub them. I just give them a swish with the brush and dry them. And it's easy. So they're non-food stockpiles, part of the cleaning stockpile. Sometimes I might, if I can get it cheap enough, throw in some lavender oil just for a change, or tea tree oil. Now, tea tree oil is almost, as far as I'm concerned, almost as good as eucalyptus oil. In Miracle Spray, or just as a general disinfectant, you put it in some water and give it a spritz on things. It's almost as good. So if you can get it cheap enough, add it to your cleaning stockpile because there are a lot of uses for it. It's easy enough to, there's heaps of recipes in the cleaning section of the tip store, but Google it if you have to, and tons will come up. So, yes, Kath, we are both well. Sorry, I'm catching up with, my thing's gone off, catching up here with the comments. Annette, hello. I saw your video about your veggie garden. Very good. That's lovely. There we go. Now, what else do we have as a non-food stockpile? Bathroom supplies, toiletries, pretty much shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, toothbrushes, the heads for the electric toothbrushes, cotton buds, cotton balls, deodorant, and my makeup and moisturizer and body wash. And all of those things are always only ever bought on half price or better. Now this week, if you're in Victoria, this week NQR has packs of 6 Dove bars for $4. That's 66 cents a bar. That's cheaper than it has been for about 12 years. So I had to go back and do my research, because it's a long time since it has been that cheap. So we can often get it for $1, but 66 cents each is a brilliant price. Sometimes Aldi will have it for 80 cents, but never 66. So that's a stock up price if you use Dove bars. Just as a side trip. Hairspray is the other thing that I stock up on when it's on half price. I'm not particularly loyal with the hairspray. I used to use the, I used to like the Aldi hairspray at all. So right now I'm using Seedle that Hannah got for me on half price. And it seems to be doing a lovely job. If I have to say so myself. It does the job. As long as it does the job, I'm not particularly fussed about it because it's only, I don't use it every day. So, but I like to get it on half price. And I have 3 or 4 cans in the bathroom cupboard so that I know I'm not going to run out in a hurry. Those are the things. Toiletries, especially shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste and deodorants, are hideously expensive. They are so expensive. So shop around. Don't be brand loyal unless you really, really, really like a particular brand. And even then, shop around. And don't just look for them at supermarkets, look for them at the reject shop, look for them at your pharmacy, look for them at Chemist Warehouse. Often has really good deals, but you do need to hunt for them. So get on that website and hunt for what you want. Department stores like Kmart and Big W will often have them too at really good prices that are going to save you money. And that's what we want to do. We want to stretch that dollar till it screams. And we want to build our stockpiles so that we don't have to pay full price for anything ever again. Razors I've found are cheapest on eBay, and it will depend on the seller. So every time I order them for Wayne, I do a quick search to see which one is the cheapest, and that's the one we get. And I always look for one with free postage. I hate paying postage if I don't have to. Shaving cream, again, half price. We look for the one that's half price. He prefers the foam over the gel. I don't know, I can't tell the difference. I've tried to convince him to use conditioner instead of shaving cream. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like the feel of it. And so we just look for it in half price. And he only shaves once a day, sometimes twice if we're going out at night, but not very often. So it's not a huge expense to give him something he really likes, especially if I'm paying half price for it. So those are the toiletries in our toiletry stockpile that we keep, and they're just in the bathroom cupboards. Some are in our bathroom in the ensuite and the cupboards, and some are in the main bathroom in the cupboards, and it fits. It all just fits. Again, remember, I dilute the shampoo and the conditioner 50-50 with water for both of them so that it goes further, but it's actually better. I think it's better for our hair. It doesn't, our hair's much better since we've not been using as much product, is all I can say. It's just the way it is. First aid kits. First aid is another stockpile. First aid, we have a little pharmacy almost in our house sometimes. Not so much now that the kids are older, but when we had little children, the start of every winter, I would go to the chemist and I would stock up on Panadol drops, the Dimmetap cold liquid stuff. I would stock up on the ear drops for them. Then I would buy a bottle of cough mixture for Wayne and I, paracetamol, a packet of cold and flu tablets, and hay fever tablets. And that sort of seemed to get us through most of what we needed. These days we don't need the Panadol drops or the Dimmetap syrup or anything like that. So I don't do that anymore. But it meant that I wasn't caught out if the kids got sick, because without fail, if my kids were going to get sick, it was the middle of the night. And the middle of the night when we were living in the country meant it was the middle of the night. There was nothing open. We had to wait till 9 o'clock the next morning. So I needed to have something on hand to at least ease the pain if they're in pain. So I did that. It also meant that I had the one expense I knew was coming up, so I could plan for it. Wait till I noticed the chemist had a sale on and go and buy it then. These days, we keep a stock of, Wayne keeps a double of all his prescriptions that he needs, just in case. And then we always have paracetamol on hand. We have, what's that stuff called? The antiseptic spray. I also have the spray on bandage that has come in so handy so many times. It's in the patrol box. Spray on bandage, yeah. It's really handy. You get a nick or a splinter or something, spray on bandage, works a treat. Paracetamol, the cold and flu tabs, those sorts of things. And then I keep vitamin D and magnesium and calcium in I buy the big containers of those, and they're in our stockpile, along with fresh Band-Aids, because the sticky on Band-Aids goes off, even if it's Band-Aid brand. the sticky goes off, it expires, does it?
And I actually have an expiry date.
Do
And
it?
a bandages too.
I didn't realise that. Why would a bandage expire?
Sterilization.
Oh, okay, because they're sterile. Okay.
Because the package wears down.
Wears down. Okay, this is coming from Miss who used to work in the pharmacy. So bandages, the elastic socks for sprained ankles, or the hand guard for the wrists and things like that, an eye bath, and I get fresh saline every year too. Whether it's been opened or not, I get fresh saline because saline does expire. So they all go, sorry?
DP.
And DP, yep. We usually buy that. The Nurofen one is better than the DP one. Yeah, much better. Anyway, they're in the first aid kit stockpile. So it doesn't hurt to keep small things on hand. Now, as well as that, I also have some essential oils that we use. So I've got peppermint oil, clove oil, oregano oil, geranium oil, can't remember what else, but they're all in the first aid kit too, and they all have their uses with different things. We cut fingers or toothache or an earache or whatever. I know that until we can get to a doctor, I can at least do something to take care of whoever's suffering. It's either that or whack them across the head. So we treat them nicely, or I try to anyway. Pharmacy, gardening stockpile. Who'd have thought you'd need a garden stockpile, folks? Seeds, older sheets that you can tear up to use to tie up your tomatoes and your peas and beans and climbers and things like that. Stakes, spare stakes, if you find them, or you find a pallet or something that's out in hard rubbish, think about how it can be used in the garden, add it to your garden stockpile. Pots, spare pots, come from hard rubbish or curbside collection. Don't pay for them. Don't pay for them. Knock on the door and ask if you can have them if someone's home. But you can get beautiful pots on curbside collection. But even just the black plastic ones are great for starting seeds. And bean pots, they're portable, so you can move them around. Now, if you're in a small yard like we are, we have a very small backyard. You can move them around to follow the sun. You can move them out of the wind. They're easy to transport, and they're economical. They don't take up a lot of time either. If your garden is in pots, it's a breeze. So all those things are part of our garden stockpile. We also keep spare fittings for the hoses, just one set, because they just don't seem to last very long at all. I don't know whether it's because I'm hard on a hose, the trigger nozzle, or whatever it is, but they don't seem to last long at all. So we always have a spare set of the hose fittings in the shed. What we think of in the household thing, yes. Light bulbs. See, she's over here, she's thinking. Light bulbs for the are another thing that we keep, but not in the garden. They go in the linen cupboard. They're part of our household stockpile. Aldi has light bulbs coming up on sale, so look for them because they're really expensive these days. So with your gardening stockpile, you can think of seeds, but also think about food. If you don't have compost, you don't have worm tea or whatever, think about citrus food, the tomato food, whatever you feed and fertilise your plants with. And think about buying at the end of summer when the gardening season is where it's slowing down, or if you're up north at the end of winter when your garden season is slowing down, and it will be slightly cheaper at your garden centre or your hardware shop or wherever it is that you get your garden things from, so that you can have a little build up and a backup of those things too, ready to start the next season. Easy. I didn't mention toilet paper. Sorry, folks. Part of our non-food stockpile is toilet paper. Can never have too much toilet paper. It's one of my greatest fears, running out of toilet paper. Say no more. When it's on sale, stock up. Light bulbs we've covered. We've done the garden. Batteries, yes, if you have things in your home that use batteries, and most of us do these days, even if we don't have little children with toys, the remote control for the television will need a battery. The remote clocks take batteries. So many things take batteries. So they do come on sale quite often at both Coles and Woolworths, and some of the department stores, they don't advertise them as much though. So look for them. Check the date, because batteries do have a best before date, and it's, if you want full power and you're going to pay for it, you might as well get it. So check the date, the expiry date on the packet when you buy them. And yeah, because they're another expense that if you get them on half price, it's worth stocking up on. Then we come to things like clothes. We stock up on clothes, socks, undies, t-shirts, the plain t-shirts that we wear all the time, jeans that we wear all the time. We just like the style, we like the cut, we like the brand, the price. We stock up on them, because sure as heck, if we don't, we'll need it and we won't be able to get it. And that's what happened with my favourite socks last year. I had these socks and I had lots of them, but I went to stock up, I'd opened a new packet, gone to get more to replace it, and they don't make them anymore. So I had to choose a different style of sock. Now that was devastating to me, but it worked. So if there's something that you like, stock up on it. Pajamas, things like that, keep a backup. Those are things that don't go out of fashion. I'm not saying, you know, your fashion items, keep a stockpile of them, but your basics that you wear all the time, there's no point. If you can get it cheaper, you might as well put it away so that you don't have to pay full price for it, and you don't have to panic when you realise you need to replace whatever you're using now. Things for the car, if you do your own car maintenance. Now Wayne does the oil changes and stuff like that for our cars. So when Super Cheap or Repco or whoever has a sale on, we'll stock up on oil and the power steering fluid and the transmission stuff and all the other bits and the grease that he needs to do the other bits and pieces and things like that. And when we do that, we also, if we go to Repco, we can use our RACV card as well to get a further discount. So check that if you have an auto, if you're a member of an auto club, check that you don't get a further discount with that too. But they're things that are really expensive. Car wash, yes. Yes, all those things are expensive to buy at full price. So if you are using them and you know you're going to keep using them, then you plan ahead. You've already built these expenses into your budget as part of, so it's not going to put you out of pocket. You're actually going to have a stockpile, and it saves money at the same time, so that if the zombie apocalypse happens and everything shuts down for 3 months, you'll be able to change the oil in the car or wash the car or plant some seeds or something. You'll be able to cope because you'll have what you need to survive, and you won't have paid full price for it. That's the secret though, don't pay full price. Now, craft supplies. Who'd have thought craft supplies could be a stockpile? Oh, were they?
Craft yarn and
well, we're just talking about, I can't see the comments, so I'm sorry, I didn't know that. Yeah. But craft supplies. Now, yes, you can have too many craft supplies if you don't use them. If you use them, then they're not being wasted. But you can make money from your craft supplies, because if you knit beautiful dishcloths, you can sell those dishcloths. I sell my dishcloths for $8 each. It covers the cost of the yarn. It covers, you know, it gives me a bit more money to buy more yarn to keep my fingers busy when I'm knitting. I sell my cards that I make. I donate a lot of cards, but I have to sell some cards to cover the cost of replacement materials so that I can keep making more to donate. Does that make sense? So I sell them, but if I wasn't donating them, I'd be selling them to make a profit, to build our savings, pay off a debt, buy a new lounge suite or whatever we wanted to do.
Buy a new fridge.
Buy a new fridge. Elsa's making noises. We might have to buy a new fridge. Things like that. Knitting, crocheting, sewing. If you're a sewer, you've got fabric, you can make kids' clothes and sell them. You can make pretty tablecloths and matching placemats and sell them. You can do shopping bags and sell them. You can do all sorts of things with your stash so that you're getting the pleasure out of the crafting. And it's the crafting that I like. It's the actual making of something, the knitting, the crocheting, sewing, the card making. That's what I like to do. So if I can sell it, great. And I'm getting benefit from it too. That works. So your craft supplies aren't necessarily just a huge big stash sitting there doing nothing. Think about how you can use them to benefit you more, and at least let your craft pay for itself. If it's not paying for itself, then it's sort of hoarding. We don't want to be a hoarder. We don't want to be known as hoarders. So make sure it pays for itself.
Annette would like to know, what yarn do you use for your dishcloths?
Oh, Annette, I use for my dishcloths, I have tried a lot of different yarns. My favourite is the Bernat, B-R-N-A-T, handicrafted cotton, and it's in a huge big ball. I think it's about a 500 gram ball. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. Sorry, folks. A 500 gram ball. It's hard to get. Now, I buy it online from American Yarns in Brisbane. I've tried looking on eBay and other websites for it, and by the time I've had postage and whatever, I might as well support a local company. So that's what I do. I like it because it's nice and thick. It's strong. It's 100% cotton. It's really strong, and that's what I like, because I use my dishcloths myself, so they get used for everything. So I like them to be strong and sturdy, and that's really good. Otherwise, if you can't get that, if you go to Bendigo Woolen Mill's website, they will often have their 8-ply cotton on sale. It's really good too, but I use 2 strands of that to make it nice and thick. If I can't get the handicrafter, I'll use the Bendigo Woolen Mills cotton, and it comes in big balls too, which is really good. And they have nice colours, really nice colours.
301 Jules would like to know, where do you sell your items?
301 Jules, where do I sell my items? Well, to people that know that I do them. I've done a couple of market type things, school fatey things. We have an Etsy shop that we sell some stuff through. So, yeah. And Hannah and I are thinking of doing another stall, like we did our Christmas stall last year. We thought we might do another one this year. We'll see how it goes, see how much stuff we can get made between now and November. Yeah, so if there's anything you particularly need or want, let me know. Yeah, hit us up, as Hannah says. Right. Okay. So, what else do we non-food stockpile? Makeup. I don't. You do. Hannah does makeup. She stockpiles her makeup when it comes on half price. When she sees it on, whether it's in a store or online, she will buy it.
I don't think I bought makeup for a year now.
Perfume.
Yeah.
I stockpiled perfume a few months ago. Finally found one that I really liked. Bought 3 bottles of it. Put them away, and this I know perfume does go off, but I use this one I really like, so I use a lot of it. So that was really good. Things like that.
How's towels and sheets, Bob said.
Yes. And the other thing we do is stockpile linen. So, tea towels, tablecloths, placemats, serviettes for the kitchen, pot mitts, although I tend to make them, but pot mitts, and there's a few over there that I've done. Then things for bedding, so pillow slips, sheets, sets, doona covers, mattress protectors, pillow protectors. We have a couple of spare doonas. They're in rotation, but they're still spare. Because when we got married, my sister-in-law, who had been married for 5 years when we got married, said to me, everything wears out after 5 years. So you only get 5 years out of your tea towels, you only get 5 years out of your sheets, you only get 5 years out of towels, anything. And she was just about right. I noticed she was just about right. And so I sort of think I have to replace those things just about every 5 years. So I plan to have a couple in reserve so that as they wear out, I can bring them in, and that gives me the option then of being able to wait until what I need comes on sale and I can replace it. Now, in my wardrobe at the moment, I have 2 sets of sheets for our bed and 2 doona covers. They will go into rotation when the ones that we are using are beyond repair or beyond use. But I won't have to worry about, I'm going to knock that water over, I won't have to worry about panicking and racing out to buy them. With towels, I do the same thing. Now, we have 12 towels. We have 12 towels. We have, Hannah and I use 2 towels each, and the boys only have 1 towel each. So that's 7 towels in rotation all the time that we swap. So I wash the towels a couple of times a week so that we always have clean towels, and I just rotate through them. This time of year when it takes a while for them to dry because even if it's sunny outside, it's still damp. So it takes a while for them to dry properly, so I don't have to stress about that. But I will have a backup at the bottom shelf of the linen cupboard. I have backup towels, and I don't have 12 backup towels. I think there's 5 as backups. And as a towel becomes too thin to be used as a bath towel, it gets taken out and replaced. But that towel then gets trimmed down to use as a bath mat or turned into cleaning cloths or rags for one. It depends how bad it is. Rags laying out in the shed, it doesn't just get destroyed. They make really good wadding for pot mitts. Old bath towels, make sure they're clean, wash them, dry them, trim them down to size, and use double layer of bath towel between the cover for a pot mitt, for an oven mitt, and they are so good because they're nice and flexible and bendy, but they're thick enough that you don't get burnt, and you don't have to buy the expensive heat-proof wadding. So that works too. I also have spare curtains. I know that sounds weird, but just the terralane, the flimsies, they're starting to get a bit old. So I've been looking, and not yours, no, yours have just been done, to replace them. So when I see curtain fabric I like and it's enough of it and it's cheap enough, I've been buying it so that, because I'm sure I'm going to put the curtains in the washing machine and they'll come out in pieces very soon. So I have curtains as a backup as well. You can stockpile just about anything. Anything that you use, you can stockpile. It's just how you think about it, and and thinking about it as a stockpile, and why you're stockpiling it. You might not think stockpiling, keeping backup sheets or towels or whatever is important, in which case don't do it. You don't have to. But to me, I like to know that when someone comes out of the bathroom and says this towel's got a hole in it, I can go, okay, put it over there, and I can replace it straight away. I like that, and then I know I've got the option then of waiting until I find one on sale to be able to replace it. I also like it because I tend to like specific things, specific styles, specific colours. So it gives me time to be able to find exactly what I want. Because sometimes if you've got to buy it in the spur of the moment, you can't get that colour you want, and then you've got one odd towel or two odd towels. It's just wrong. The sheets don't match. It's just wrong. So that's another reason I stockpile those sorts of things. But I'm pretty sure that in the 30 plus years we've been married, it would have saved us at least $30,000 at least in replacing the different things, or, you know, even just the garden things or the linen, the car stuff. Just having them there and not having to pay full price for them would easily save us $1,000 a year without even thinking, I know. And it means that we live a really good lifestyle. But the champagne lifestyle and lemonade budget without the champagne because we don't drink it. But we live the lifestyle we want to live, and we have the things that we want to have, and we do the things that we want to do and go where we want to go because we think about how we spend our money. And if that means we've got to invest in a stockpile now so that we can enjoy something else later on, I'm happy to do that. It makes sense to me to do that. So, right. I'm definitely froze.
Yeah. Oh, it's commented.
So, all right. Guys, I think I've run out of oomph. Anyone got any questions? I'll have a drink while you think about it and type it up, and Anna can split it out to me. No? Well, Glennis, I've just found a comment from Glennis. Her husband needed new blades for his razor, and the cheapest place had a pack of 5 for $3.50. So she looked on eBay and she bought 100 for $15.85 postage free. Yes, that's the way to do it. 100 blades, that's a couple of years worth of shaves. Now, you do know I have trouble getting Wayne to do this, but it works. When they've rinsed the razor off and they give it a shake to make sure there's no water in it, a little dish, just one of those little sauce dishes, a little soy sauce dish or something like that. Tea bag holder would work perfectly with a little bit of veggie oil in it. Make sure the razor's shaken off and dried. Blade ends down so it doesn't rust, and it will last for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's really good. It works. It really works. You just have to keep reminding them to do it, but it works.
Julie asked office supplies.
Office supplies. Ooh. Do you remember when Office Works used to do those 1 cent exercise books?
You still have 500.
We're still using them. They're a really good deal. Office supplies are something, if you use a lot of stationery, why not stock up at the back to school scales? Pens, highlighters. Highlighters need to be replaced every year because they dry up. Sharpies as markers, note paper, printer paper. If you can get a deal on printer paper and you print a lot, or you have kids doing assignments and things, by all means, stock up on it. Printer paper is expensive. You can get it for $3.50 a ream. Woohoo! Go to town, buy a box, buy 2 boxes. Things like that are worth stocking up on. Printer cartridges. Depends on your printer. Someone did say to me not so long ago it was cheaper to just buy a new printer and buy the ink to refill their...
But then you got to buy the ink for the new printer. So it doesn't really work out.
So, cheaper to buy a new printer. Go figure. If your printer's out of warranty, have a look at buying generic printer cartridges. We used one of the printers we had for a long time was fine with generic printer cartridges. It was an Epson. It was out of warranty, so it didn't really worry me. We used generic printer cartridges, which were third the price of the Epson ones. We used those for a long time, and again they came off eBay with free postage. Brilliant deal. Until the printer just didn't print anymore. It just wouldn't even turn on. So that works well, and that can save you a lot of money. The other thing is, if you're just printing for recipes or notes or patterns, things like that, things that you don't need to keep, printing grayscale so that you don't need to use as much ink.
Barb says that we always have Dove products on half price starting tomorrow.
Thank you, Barb. Yes, Dove products on half price at Woolworths starting tomorrow. Great deal. Dove shampoo, Dove conditioner, Dove deodorants. Way to go.
Maureen said that her mum used to take the zippers and buttons off old clothes before they went into the rag bag. She says she doesn't think she ever had to buy zippers or buttons.
I do that too. I'll fess up and say I do that.
I know.
I do that, yeah. Zippers and buttons and things. With Wayne's work shirts, because they're branded and the brand is actually sewn into the shirt, I tried unpicking it, but I can't do that. So I take all the buttons off. With his trousers are the same thing, they're branded, so I take all the buttons and zippers and things out of them as much as I can, and then shred them into rags to use in the garden because I can't donate them anywhere. So yeah, I do that. I did it with the kids' school clothes. If they had school clothes that weren't good to pass on or couldn't be sold, off came the buttons, out came the zippers. Same with jeans, when the boys have jeans and things that they don't want anymore. Those poppers and things all come out, the zips come out. That's so useful. They come in handy for so many things. So with shoelaces, if the kids are throwing out shoes, I pull out the shoelaces because they're really handy, even if it's just for tying up, bundling up sticks to go out on the green waste. They come in really handy, shoelaces. Great for tying up tomatoes and things like that because they're soft and they're stretchy. Yeah, we were just saying that, Rhiannon, about the ink on the new printers. But seriously, when you can get a new printer for $25.
Yeah, but how many printers do you want and how easily recyclable are they?
Yes.
Think of the environment.
Do I have to think of the environment? Why do I have to think of the environment? It'd be so easy if I didn't have to think of the environment. I will get in trouble. I'm only joking, folks. I do think of the environment. So, okay. See, Lisa still takes the zippers and buttons out too, Maureen. Woohoo! Okay. Well, there's a lot of things you can stockpile that aren't food. If you think about it, you can stockpile just about anything that you like. When I was a child, my mum and dad would stockpile fuel. They didn't call it a stockpile, but Dad had his own business and it was easy to buy the diesel and the petrol in the 44-gallon drums and had pumps on them, and so the truck would come once a month and deliver the drums, and we never suffered through. Back then there was an awful lot of strikes, fuel tanker driver strikes, petrol station strikes, all sorts of things going on, and people would be queuing to get $10 worth of petrol because it was rationed, and you could go odd day, even day, depending on your number, what your number plate ended is. And it didn't affect us at all because Mum and Dad had stockpiled fuel. Now, I'm not suggesting anyone do that because there are things that you need to have in place to be able to do that. But it's something that you wouldn't think you could stockpile, but you do, and you can. I know water in summer. Stockpiling, you know, fill your water bottles, put them in the freezer. It helps your freezer run more efficiently, but you've got water too, backup to keep yourself cool, or feed the chookies, or give one to the dog, a water bottle, a frozen water bottle to the puppies, and let them play with it. Works really well too. Yeah. So, folks, there we go. Lots of things to think about. Lots of things that perhaps, I hope, maybe something you haven't heard of before, or you would never have thought to stockpile that, or you've done it and not realised that it is actually a stockpile. So they're all things we do that all save us money. Oh, the other thing, birthday box.
Firewood.
Firewood, yeah, we stockpile firewood. But the birthday box, until a couple of years ago, we had a crate. It was about one of those 50-odd litre crates. And in it had plastic tablecloths. It had plastic picnic sets that I had picked up for $2 each at Crazy Clint's way back when the kids were little. And it was a blue one, a yellow one, a pink one, and a green one. So 16 places. And they came with a plate, a bowl, a tumbler, and cutlery. So they were perfect for the kids' birthday parties. We just made rainbow parties all the time. I had pink, blue, all sorts of different coloured tablecloths, candles, the banners that go up, the happy birthdays and all those sorts of things all went into the birthday box, along with invitations, the loot bags, all those sorts of things, so that when we had a birthday, and with the 3 kids, it was a birthday fairly often through the year, we'd space them out, but they were still happening. We had the things, we didn't have to worry about and paper plates and things like that. It was all in the birthday box. That was our birthday stockpile. The other stockpile that is really important to me, and probably to most of you too, is the present stockpile, the gift stockpile. We're coming into that sort of downhill end of the year now. We're on the downhill run to Christmas, and as Maureen and I were saying last week, it happens every year, so it shouldn't take anyone by surprise. But a gift stockpile. Now, whether they're homemade gifts or gifts you bought from the op shop, cheap on sale somewhere, it's nice to have just a backup of little things that you can give, little general things that you can give at the drop of a hat. So it might be a hostess gift, you invited somebody to take something, or someone's leaving at work, or a neighbour's moving, or your neighbour becomes a grandma for the first time. You've got something little that you can give them. Hasn't cost you a lot, but you can do it straight away because it's in your gift stockpile. And then, of course, there's the gift stockpile for the birthdays and Christmas and Easter and anniversaries and things for the people that you would normally give gifts to. So think about those too. That's a stockpile as well. With our kids, we have boxes, one for Hannah, one for Tom, one for AJ, and their presents. She said, "Oh, I have a box." Yes, you have a box.
But yet I still get them in January and February afterwards.
Yes, and the boxes, and I just put their presents in there so that I know where they are through the year. When it comes up to the birthday, they get money for their birthdays. Now they're grown up. It's no fun when they grow up. They don't want squishy toys and stuff anymore. It's just no fun. But Christmas, the stocking things and that all go in the boxes, and that's our gift stockpile. In there is wrapping paper, ribbons, sticky tape, scissors, a ruler, and I make cards. So the card's usually made for the person, and that's it. So that's the other stockpile. I think I've covered all my stockpiles, all my non-food stockpiles. Okay. Barb has one. Suzanne stockpiles PJs. Yes. Christmas cards, paper. You want, yeah, Boxing Day sales. We've got enough Christmas paper to last us for 38 years, I'm sure. Is it just?
No, I won't this year.
It's always so pretty. It's always so pretty. If they just made ugly paper, we'd never want it. It's so much good. Okay, so 301 joules. Told for those who live alone, stock up on paper plates and cutlery for when you're ill, then you don't have to do wash up. That's a great idea, Jules. 301 joules. And you know what? If you're a mum with little kids, do the same thing. Seriously.
Brown if you have fish and chips and brown paper.
Seriously, when you're a mum with little kids and the kids are sick, you don't have time to be stressing out dishes. And if you're a mum with little kids and you're sick, you don't have time and the energy to be stressed about dishes. Always keep a backup supply of paper plates, disposable. You can get bamboo cutlery really cheap now, and serviettes. And as Hannah was saying, if you're going to order fish and chips, just let them eat it out of the paper. There you go. Okay. Alrighty, folks. It must be time for me to go. I'm getting hoarse. And it was nearly time for me to slip off to bed. 8:24. Wowzers. That's gone fast. Hi, Priya. Everybody, did you see Priya's post over on Cheapskates Chatter? She made her yogurt at the weekend. Well done, Priya. And in her $5 Easy-O that she got from Savers. How cool is that? I was so excited when I saw that post over on Cheapskates Chatter. It was really good. I was really, really excited. Thought it was wonderful. So, okie dokie. All right, guys. Somebody, I can't see these comments. They're just not working for me. Okay, someone. Pamela Peoples. Hello, Pamela. Yes, firewood. We look for firewood all year round. Every time we go out, we're looking for firewood. It would be nothing for us to stop and chuck some wood in the boot to bring home for firewood. That's what we do. We hate having to pay for it, but it is still cheaper to heat our house with firewood than it is to use the ducted heating. The jury's out on which one's better for the environment. They're both bad, but the heating from the firewood is much nicer heat than what we get from the ducted heating. So, guys, pet food. We didn't think we don't have pets. And no, it's not because I'm mean. It's not because I'm so stingy I won't have them. It's because we've had cats, we've had frogs, we've had tadpoles that turn into frogs, we've had hermit crabs, we've had mice. That's all we've had. Okay, that's enough. I was thinking of dogs, but that was pre-kids. So we're at the stage of our life now where we go away a lot. And if we have animals, we either can't go away or we have to find someone to look after them. It's just not working out for us at the moment. When we are older and we're not traveling quite so much, we will probably have pets again because we quite like having little furry critters around. No mice, no tadpoles, no hermit crabs, but we could probably go for a moggy and a puppy.
The hermit crabs were fine.
But not right now. But yes, you can stockpile dog food, pet food, cat food on sale. And if you can find their worm tablets on sale, we're stocking up on. Okie dokie, I'm getting this in the corner of my eye and eye rolls. Oh my gosh, she didn't learn the eye rolls from me, folks. Okay. What's happening in the kitchen on Thursday, Barb? I've forgotten. What did I say I was going to do?
Didn't tell me.
I've forgotten. And I can't even check for it. It'll be a surprise, yeah. Oh, I've forgotten something. I've got it all planned. I was already looking at it.
So Tupperware burger press.
Oh, okay. Anyway, sorry about that. I'll pop it in comments when I. Oh gosh, Barb, you caught me on the fly. Don't do that to me. My mind muddles. Okay, guys. I shall go. I shall see you in the kitchen on Thursday. Have a lovely couple of days. Stay warm, stay dry. Don't get this bug. Remember to give us a thumbs up, please. That would be lovely if you could. If you haven't subscribed, please do. That would make me really excited too. So I'd love to know that people are watching. Really good. Newsletter goes out on Thursday morning. Jump over on Cheapskates Chatter if you haven't. If you're not on Cheapskates Chatter yet, please come across and join us. Just remember, you must answer the question to be approved. Otherwise, we can't approve you. So it's a simple question. Trust me, no-brainer, absolute no-brainer. Okay, I shall see you on Thursday. Thank you all very much for joining us tonight. It has been an absolute pleasure. Good night. I'll see you on Thursday. No. Waiting.
We could